Romeo, I have been documentarily qualified since 2022, November. My priority date is October 4th, 2016. How long for an interview in Jamaica? Romeo, I don't know who's sponsoring you. I assume, Romeo, who's sponsoring you is a parent. Whether they're a resident or citizen, I don't know. But either way, they're in 2015. So you have some time to wait. But I need to know more info. Danelle, can two women get married and file for a green card? The answer is 100% yes. Gay marriage is legal in all 50 states. You're allowed to file for adjustment of status in a gay marriage, as long as it's a bona fide marriage. KT Independent. Hey, Brad. As it relates to an approved VAWA, what are the supporting documents that should be submitted with the form I-864W? The W in the I-864 stands for waiver, which means you don't need an I-864, which means you're just filling out a form saying, I'm submitting the I-864 waiver because I don't need the I-864, which means all you have to do is show you have an approved or pending VAWA. That's it. Priscilla, how long does USCIS take to apply to an RFE for VAWA? It's been more than a year now since I submitted it. Depends what the RFE was for. So I would need to know a lot more. And when it came as part of your immigration case. If it came in the beginning of the VAWA application, that means you were missing documents. If it came in the end, that means you were missing evidence. So it depends when it came, and it also depends what you submitted and what the situation is with your case. There's a lot we don't know. But yes, a year, it seems like a long time. If it was for evidence at the end of the case. Juan Ruiz. Is an administrative CPS record dismissed case disqualified anyone from applying for the I-130? I guess a controlled substance, but it was dismissed. So no. The only time you can't petition for somebody is if you have a record for child abuse and there was some sort of sexual component to it. You're on the child sex registry. Michelle Taylor, excuse me. Hello, Brad. I have a question. My mom filed for me in 2015, April. I only received one email and nothing more. What can she do? Contact me. Let me check on her file, and then I'll let you know. I don't know what your mother did for you, so we don't know if she did anything proper or not. First step is to do a Freedom of Information Act request and see what's going on. Tan, hey, Brad, please. I have this question. My ex-wife's visa was refused, and she ended up divorcing me last year. So I requested a withdrawal of my petitioner. So now our immigration case was returned to NVC. If your wife's visa was refused, there's nothing to withdraw. She's not getting her green card anyway. And if she has divorced you, she's not getting her green card anyway. And if it's been returned to the NVC, she's not getting her green card anyway. So she ain't coming, Tan, to America. Don't worry. Not least based on your petition. Katrina Chanel. Does my child need a reason every time she enters the USA if she has a B1, B2 visa? Yes, she does. You have to have a reason why you're coming here to be a tourist, and more importantly, that you're leaving. Funny camp. Funny thing happened on the way to camp. Funny camp. My friend's F1 status terminated by SEVIS 1 year ago, so it is overstaying now. Yes. Once your SEVIS is terminated, you are undocumented. Don Taya Allen. Hey, Brad, I got a question. My dad has a daughter and he's married. I guess your dad's married. So then the wife is filing for him. Can she file for the daughter too? Yes, you can file for a stepchild as long as the marriage happened before the stepchild was 18. Jorna Boss. Can you file a mandamus on an I-130 citizen mother file for over 21 and married daughter? You can file a mandamus whenever you want. Whether you're wasting your time or not depends on a lot more, and I would need to know a lot more. Akila Sanders, living outside the U.S., how long after marrying a U.S. resident can I enter the U.S.? Your U.S. resident has to file for you. And if your U.S. resident does not file for you, then you cannot enter the United States. So, number one, U.S. resident files I-130, then U.S. resident gets I-130 approved, and then you wait on a waiting list and figure it's about 3 years. Andrea Granston. Hi, Brad. My son filed my I-130 from May 2023 until now. I haven't heard from them. He's a U.S. citizen. Wait until May 2024 and call me back. It takes about a year. Lou. Brad, September will be 3 years since I'm married. What time I must file for citizenship? 3 years from the time you got your green card, Lou. Bing. Sir, I am married to a U.S. citizen. Can I file the J-1 waiver and the adjustment of status at the same time? If you're requesting a no objection, you got to get the no objection letter first. If you're filing the waiver based on extreme hardship, you can file the extreme hardship waiver and the adjustment simultaneously. All right, let's go to Mamadou. Mamadou, can I travel to Africa with my extended I-751 form for 48 months with my expired 2-year green card and without traveling, parole, and getting a divorce? The answer is yes. If you have an extension notice on the I-751, you travel with that extension notice, you travel with your valid passport, you travel with your expired green card. Enjoy your trip. Danny X Danny, I've been married for 2 years, but I don't have a lot of evidence like pictures, a lease. We just opened an account. Can I still apply for my green card without having any problems? Danny X Danny, you need to live with the man and you need to have a financial relationship. And if you live in the same home, you should have documentation coming showing you live in that home. And it's very easy to snap pictures, and it's very easy to open up a bank account and pay your joint bills. But the answer is yes, you can file with whatever you want. But ultimately, you got to bring documentation to prove you're in a bona fide marriage, which is 1 year later. George Henry, hey, Brad, how long does it take to approve I-130 for spouse? A little over a year. Jolo Shah, have a deportation since 2002. I crossed the border. I now have a spouse, U.S. citizen, 1 kid. Can I start my paperwork? I would start something, Jalo Shah. Let's figure out how you can either adjust your status or get a provisional waiver and go home and come back and reopen that deportation case all in the same process.